wanted to talk a little bit with you about some of the challenges that face families. One of them being if you're in the military, having to be away from a child, and how a family deals with that. Our kids are so concrete sometimes, and being able to get them to understand a complex thing like mom or dad can't be here right now, even though they would like to be, it could be overwhelming for families. So we wanted to talk with you a little bit about, and for families that are watching that aren't veterans, they have other challenges where, whether it's that the dog dies or that, a friend moves away and they're not at their school anymore, or grandma or grandpa are sick. For some of our veterans, they come back, and as we just read in some of the letters that we had earlier this morning, they come back and they're injured and have special considerations. How do we help our kids on the spectrum to understand these things and to move forward with it, with them having peace and not anxiety about it?
Well, we're looking at all the different sides, right? There's the family side anxiety, having veterans that are over, or active military that are overseas. And then we have the permanency issues, which you're talking about with our children, understanding at least temporary permanency or overall permanency if there happens to be a death, or happens to be, like you said, someone moves away and never comes back. Those types of things. And over time, the exposure to permanency is one thing that we work with our kids about, and we talk to them about that. We, give them concrete ideas, concrete concepts, and conceptualizations of what it means by moving away and not coming back, or dying and not coming back. But without exposure, without experience, oftentimes this is too abstract. It's too confusing of a concept to be able to really understand without exposure. So when we're working with our kids that are of military families and they have a parent that's away, we try to make sure that they're as communicative as possible, that there's at least some type of a connection with mom or dad who are overseas, to make sure that there is that continuity of communication, there is that connectivity to each other, so that there isn't a sense of abandonment. There isn't that sense of someone's gone away and they're not coming back, because it's all our hopes that all our troops come back, right? That all our military families and personnel make it back to the state safely. So, so it's kind of a two-faced thing. One, we're trying to reduce anxieties by having some type of normalcy, some type of consistent communication with the loved one. So, with technologies nowadays, with FaceTime and Skype and so forth, we're able to do that a lot more than ever before. And so using that technology, it's what we've seen is some of our kids' anxieties have gone down because they do have a consistent date or a consistent time that they talk to mom or dad. So reducing that anxiety helps not only create more learning opportunities across the rest of their day, but it also keeps that connection for both mom and dad who have their anxieties go down because they're keeping that connection and keeping their feelings possibly of guilt down because they are away and they can't help on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.